What next? People are blaming Gen Zs, are saying that the Nane was a flop. So we'd like to tell the public that their criticism of the Gen Z's Nane protests is not appropriate. We, we call by Gen Zs, the call by Gen Zs is and still remains genuine, pragmatic, and legitimate mission for the whole nation. To the Gen Zs, as concerned citizens, we congratulate you and affirm that you have already called a revolution and you have caused the revolution and it has actually happened. So do not be discouraged. I'm Professor Fred Ogola. I am one of the conveners of Concerned Citizens Movement. We were supposed to issue this statement by my co-convener, Joe Chege, but he has some other commitment. And why we have to do it right now is just because of the fact that there is a lot of questions people are asking. After the Nane, and then the swearing of the cabinet that took office, oath of office in State House, what next? People are blaming Gen Zs, are saying that the Nane was a flop. So we'd like to tell the public that their criticism of the Gen Z's Nane protests is not appropriate. We call by Gen Zs, the call by Gen Zs is and still remains genuine, pragmatic, and legitimate mission for the whole nation. The Gen Zs call for responsible leadership, accountability, service delivery, and most importantly, constitutionalism, which simply means using the Constitution of Kenya, laws of Kenya, and government policies as manual to run the government by William Ruto. Let those thinking that Nane flopped know that Gen Z's battle on Nane didn't win, but the war is still to be won. During war, one can lose a battle or two, but not the war. For the president, who admitted that Gen Zs were right that his administration is corrupt, incompetent, and therefore incapable of service delivery in spite of overtaxing Kenyans, you owe the whole nation, and Gen Zs in particular, not just an apology, but the following as well. One, ensure justice for the uncalled for arrests, abductions, torture, maiming, deaths, and loss of property are done. You are the commander-in-chief of all the armed forces, and any loss of life and destruction of property not caused by a national disaster means you are losing effective control, which should lead to resignation or removal from office. Two, demonstrate to Kenyans that your so-called broad-based government won't increase taxpayers' burden, but deal with poor service delivery, corruption, rule of law, given that your appointment has not respected Chapter 6 of the Constitution of Kenya and has not adhered to the 5% of the youth and people with disability that should also be part of the cabinet. Even the prime CS position is still unconstitutional. Three, how will you run your government when the executive arm and the parliament is not able to present neither a budget nor a finance bill that is compliant with the Constitution? This also demonstrates you have lost effective control that calls for either resignation or removal from office. To the Gen Zs, as concerned citizens, we congratulate you and affirm that you have already called a revolution and you have caused the revolution and it has actually happened. So do not be discouraged. The black liberation in the US began with a simple and subtle courage by the Rosa Parks, who refused to give her seat in a bus. This culminated in Barack Obama becoming the leader of the free world, the president of the US. Your story of courage that made us enter parliament, stopping the Finance Bill 2024, reconstitution of the cabinet, among others, are already in Kenyans' history books. As concerned citizens, we invite you to partner with us in the following. 1. Continuous governance oversight through delivering petitions to state offices that are either corrupt, break the law, or have failed in their service delivery. 2. High Court petition in partnership with Kenya Bora Tuitakayo that seeks to remove the president and deputy president from office, since we have found them collectively and individually in violation of 36 provisions of the Constitution. Third, a bill seeking to amend the Constitution to give the citizens constitutional mechanism and procedure to recall a president and his deputy when they have not fulfilled their mandate. This will give us an alternative of not having to go to the streets when our leaders fail us. Lastly, let us mobilize ourselves to get ID cards, voters' cards, and prepare these tools to vote in a government that will provide our livelihoods, safeguard our comforts as citizens of the Republic of Kenya, and guarantee our future development for our children and our children's children, and the retirement of the elderly. At the same time, to vote out any government that will not guarantee the above. Ladies and gentlemen, as one of the conveners for concerned citizens, I would like to tell you the following that is missing in the national conversation in the media or any other places in social media, WhatsApp group, TikTok, Instagram, whatever you call it. And today I want to talk to you about the political formations in the country. If you're not aware, they have already taken shape, and I can see the shape very, very clearly. We have always heard about the two-horse races. It has been said since election began that this is a two-horse race, there's no third race, there's no third horse. The next election will still be about the two-horse races, I can assure you. The opposition leader, which is led by Kalonzo Musyoka so far, thinks it will be him versus William Ruto. But as we know it, there's what you call Raila Odinga, William Ruto faction, which will be running against Kalonzo Musyoka Gachagua faction. These will be two horses in one horse, which I call political horse, that trades on tribal alliances. So far, both the opposition and government will be one horse, a political horse that trades on kingpins, tribal kingpins. The other horse is the new horse, is the emerging horse, and I call it a dangerous horse. It's a very alive horse. This is concerned citizens' horse that will be trading on issue-based. They know that the third liberation is about economic liberation. It's about delivering to people their livelihoods. It's about guaranteeing people their comforts. And of course, securing the future of the nation. So between those two horses, Kenyans, the call is yours. Go look for IDs if you don't have one. Prepare your ID card and voter's card. And choose between the two horses. A political horse that trades on tribal alliances, on insults, on jokes, on lies, and on unkept promises and broken promises. Another horse, which is a concerned citizens' horse, which actually Gen Zs belong in. This is a horse that actually the whole nation has given 81% approval. This is the horse which concern about the cost of living, concern about people's livelihoods, concern about people's comfort, and concern about people's guaranteed future. If I'm you, I'll be preparing to make a decision between these two horses. So that again, never again, can we go back to the streets trying to look for what one horse is offering when we shall keep our eyes blind. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless Kenya.